in the earth where it began to grow. A tiny tree took root one day in a place where children used to play. Years went by, the branches spread. It grew tall with leaves of green and red. No one knew why it stood so tall, but God had a purpose for it all. God has a plan we may not see. Long before we know the need, a seed was planted in the ground. So Zacchaeus could see Jesus in the crowd. Zacchaeus was a man so small, but he heard of Jesus, the Lord of all. He wanted to see, but couldn't get through, so he climbed the tree that God already grew. Long before Zacchaeus had the need, God had planted that little seed. He knew the day would surely come when Zacchaeus would seek his son. God has a plan we may not see. Long before we know the need, a seed was planted in the ground. So Zacchaeus could see Jesus in the crowd. Up in the tree, Zacchaeus sat, waiting for Jesus to look like that. And Jesus stopped, looked up and said, "Come down, Zacchaeus, let's break some bread." God has a plan we may not see. Long before we know the need, a seed was planted in the ground. So Zacchaeus could see Jesus in the crowd. So when you feel small or don't understand, remember that God has a perfect plan. Every little seed he plants with care will grow in time, he'll meet you there. God has a plan we may not see. Long before we know the need, a seed was planted in the ground. So Zacchaeus could see Jesus in the crowd. God has a plan we may not see. Long before we know the need, a seed was planted in the ground.